the favorite process, record to report process. And record to report process, we also call it like the counting to report process. So it includes all the process, the time you record the transactions by the way of journal entries or the feeds coming from the subledger or the subsystem into the main general ledger till the time we report our financials to both the internal and the external stakeholders. So record to report process plays an important role. Why I'm saying that it plays an important role because uh, if if APT misses to process the invoices which are due in the current period, so that will be captured by the record to report process team, and we will book an accrual for those invoices which are outstanding and not been paid and which they missed to record into the systems. So record to report process plays a significant role. So and record to report process starts the time we record the journal entries. It's not about record to report process, not only about the recording of the journal entries, but it's also involved the reporting of the financial statements to both the internal and the external stakeholders. So internal stakeholders is the management we can say just as an example, and external we can say the shareholders or whoever the outside third party who invested in the firm. So we can consider them as external stakeholders. So let's understand what comes under the record to report process as an overview. So let's understand and what role process that GL consists and what constitutes the R2R. So I have seen most of the time people gets confused about the general ledger process and the record to report process. But there is a difference between the general ledger process, GL process, and the record to report process. So if a process has closing and reporting process, so month end we have the closing and reporting where we close our books. So second is the fixed asset, and we have the fixed asset team separately, and we have the intercompany, and we have the reconciliations. So if the processee has this four sub process, closing and reporting, fixed asset, intercompany, reconciliation, then we can say that process is only the GL process, not the R2R. So again, I repeat. So if the process has these four sub process like closing and reporting, fixed asset, intercompany, reconciliation, then we can say that these forms part of the GL, so general ledger process. But apart from these four sub processes, we have FP&A, tax, and the treasury system. Financial planning and analysis, tax, and the treasury, then we can say that process is the R2R, that is the record to report process. So in short, record to report process should have closing and reporting, fixed asset, intercompany,